They said Baba Sagun's palm wine could wake the dead. That was not an exaggeration. At least, not in Okaira village. Before the first rooster crowed, before the sky decided whether it would be blue or gray, Baba Sagun was already awake. While others still turned in their sleep, he sat on a low wooden stool outside his hut, rubbing palm oil into his palms and feet, humming softly to himself. The raffia palms waited in the distance, tall, silent, obedient. Today, Baba muttered, tightening the rope around his waist, we will make money. The climb was his kingdom. Bare feet gripping bark hardened by years of use, Baba Sagun moved faster than men half his age. He did not pause to greet the tree, as tradition demanded. He did not pour libation or whisper thanks. He climbed like a man collecting a debt. At the top, he worked quickly, too quickly. His knife flashed. The calabash filled. And instead of stopping, instead of allowing the tree to rest, he cut again. Drip, drip, drip. Don't be stubborn, he whispered to the palm. You still have more to give. Below him, the tree creaked softly. By mid-morning, the village was awake and thirsty. Baba Sagun's shed sat at the crossroads, where every footpath passed whether you liked it or not. Long before the sun reached its peak, people had begun to gather. Farmers with dust on their ankles, hunters with empty traps, traders already counting losses and profits in their heads. Baba, pour me the strong one, someone shouted. The one that makes a man forget his wife's insults, another laughed. Baba Sagun smiled wide, his teeth stained faintly from years of tasting his own product. He poured generously, but not foolishly. Every calabash was measured with an expert eye. Coins dropped. Laughter rose. Problems dissolved. His palm wine was sweet, thick, and dangerously smooth. It slid down the throat without warning, only to bloom later in the head like fire. People said it had a spirit of its own. What they did not see was Baba's gaze, always flicking to the money bowl before it rested on any face. What they did not hear was the way he sighed with irritation when someone lingered too long without buying another round. To Baba Sagun, thirst was a resource, and resources were meant to be exploited. Taiwo noticed first. Taiwo was young, no more than 17, with hands still soft enough to blister and eyes still brave enough to question elders. He had apprenticed under Baba Sagun for 6 months, carrying calabashes, cleaning gourds, and watching closely. Very closely. That morning, as he helped unload the wine, he frowned. Baba, he said quietly, leaning in, this is from the same tree as yesterday. Baba Sagun did not look at him. So, you tapped it again last night, Taiwo continued. And again this morning. Baba finally turned. His smile did not reach his eyes. You want to teach me my work? He asked. No, Baba. I just heard the elders say. The elders talk too much, Baba snapped, cutting him off. That tree has served me for 20 years. It will serve me today. Taiwo hesitated. But the wine, if you take too much. Baba leaned closer, his voice dropping. Do you know what hunger sounds like, boy? Taiwo shook his head slowly. It sounds like advice, Baba said. Mind your work. The boy stepped back, heart pounding. From that moment, something shifted. As the day wore on, Baba's shed grew louder, but the laughter felt forced, almost desperate. Some men drank faster than usual. Others wiped their mouths and stared into space longer than normal. One man, a regular known for his iron stomach, stood up suddenly. Something is heavy in this wine, he muttered. Laughter followed. Someone accused him of drinking too slowly. But when another man slumped forward, snoring unnaturally loud, the laughter faltered. He's fine, Baba said quickly. Just enjoying himself. Still, a few eyes lingered on the calabashes. And somewhere beyond the shed, deep in the bush, a sound echoed. A low, splintering groan. No one paid attention. By evening, the sun dipped low and painted the village orange. Baba Sagun counted his money twice before packing up, his fingers moving lovingly over the coins. It had been a good day. A very good day. Better than usual. Too good. As people drifted home, an old woman paused near his shed. She did not buy anything. She simply stared at him with cloudy eyes. Sweetness, she said slowly, can rot the teeth. Baba laughed. "Mama, are you drunk already?" She did not smile. "And a tree that is milked like a goat will soon collapse." Before he could reply, she walked away. Baba scoffed, but unease crept up his spine like a cold finger. Night came quickly. Most people slept. Baba did not. Under the cover of darkness, he returned to the palms, lantern swinging softly at his side. The forest was quiet in the way that felt watchful, as though it was holding its breath. He climbed the same tree again. Higher, faster, greedier. The calabash filled slowly this time. Drip, drip. "Ah!" Baba hissed, shaking the gourd. "Is that all?" He cut deeper. The tree shuddered. For a brief moment, just a moment, Baba thought he heard something like a sigh. He ignored it. The sound that woke the village was not thunder. It was not gunfire. It was the sound of a giant body surrendering. Crack. The ground trembled. Birds screamed into the sky. Dogs barked wildly. By morning, villagers gathered near the path leading to Baba Sagun's palms. One of the oldest trees lay on its side, split open, its crown shattered, its sap already darkening. Dead. Baba arrived last. He stared at the fallen palm, his mouth dry. Someone whispered, "That tree fed this village before Baba was born." Another murmured, "It did not fall by itself." Baba forced a laugh, loud and sharp. "Trees fall every day. Are we now afraid of firewood?" But even as he spoke, he felt it. The sweetness he loved so much had changed. And deep in his chest, something bitter had begun to grow. The first man collapsed just after noon. At first, nobody noticed. The shed was loud that day, louder than usual. Voices clashed, laughter burst out in sharp, ugly spurts, and calabashes clinked against wood like impatient knuckles. Baba Sagun stood behind his table, pouring, smiling, selling. The coins came faster than his hands could count. Then someone screamed, "Hey, hey! What is wrong with him?" The man lay on his side, twitching slightly, eyes half open but empty, as though he had stepped halfway out of his body and forgotten how to return. "Move back," Baba said quickly. "Give him air." They obeyed, though uneasily. "Has he eaten today?" someone asked. "He drank too fast," another said. Baba nodded. "That is all. This wine is strong. Not for children." But as they lifted the man, his body went limp, heavier than a sack of yam flour. A sour smell rose around him, not vomit, not sweat, something metallic and wrong. The murmuring began. By mid-afternoon, 3 people complained. Not loudly, not openly, just whispers. "This wine is sitting strangely in my chest. My head feels tight. I swear I heard my name when I closed my eyes." Baba ignored them. He had learned long ago that doubt, like hunger, could be starved. You pretended it was not there until it went away. "Drink water," he said flatly, "or go home." And most did. But not all. Taiwo watched everything. He noticed how Baba avoided tasting the wine that day. How he poured quickly, without flair. How his eyes darted whenever someone paused too long after drinking. When the sun shifted westward, Taiwo leaned close again. "Baba," he whispered, "this batch is not right." Baba's hand froze mid-pour. "You are talking again." "Yes, Baba. Because yesterday's wine was mixed with today's. And the tree." "Enough!" Baba snapped, slamming the calabash down so hard wine splashed over the rim. The shed fell silent. "You think I do not know my own work?" he barked. "You think I would poison my customers?" "No, Baba." "Then shut your mouth." The crowd shifted uncomfortably. Baba forced a laugh. Children like to hear themselves talk. "Drink." Slowly, the noise returned, but something fragile had cracked. That evening, the rumors escaped the shed. They walked into kitchens, slipped into bedrooms, sat beside fires. They say Baba's wine is watered. No. They say he mixed old wine with fresh. I heard he taps at night now. Night tapping angers the palms. At the stream, women lowered their voices. At the mosque, men exchanged glances. At the shrine, the priest frowned. And Baba Say-gun heard none of it. He was busy counting losses. Because for the first time in years, people left without buying seconds. Behind Baba's shed, under the mango tree, the apprentices gathered. 6 of them. Young, thin, tired. The moon had not yet risen, but anger provided its own light. "He cheats us," one said. "He cheats everyone," another replied. "He takes more from the palms than they can give." Taiwo spoke last. "He will blame us when this breaks," he said quietly. Silence followed. They all knew it was true. "Then what do we do?" someone asked. Taiwo swallowed. "We stop helping him." A sharp breath was drawn. "That is dangerous." "So is staying," Taiwo replied. The decision settled like dust. Baba noticed the changes quickly. The next morning, 2 apprentices did not show up. By midday, only Taiwo remained. By evening, Baba was tapping alone. He said nothing. But that night, when he returned from the palms, his feet ached more than usual. His shoulders burned. His fingers trembled when he lifted the gourd to his lips. The wine tasted bitter. Not spoiled. Not sour. Just resentful. He spat it out. "Stupid tree," he muttered. On the 3rd day, the sickness spread. A woman collapsed while pounding yam. A man swore he saw shadows crawling across his wall. Children complained of headaches after sipping leftover wine. The elders took notice. A meeting was whispered about, then postponed. Nobody wanted to accuse Baba Say-gun openly. Not yet. He had power. And power, like palm wine, made people dizzy. That night, Baba did what he had sworn never to do. He watered the wine. Just a little. Enough to stretch the supply. Enough to calm complaints. Enough to protect profit. As he poured water into the calabash, his reflection wavered. For a moment, he did not recognize his own face. "Business," he said firmly. "This is business." But the wine did not forgive him. The next day, a man began laughing uncontrollably after 1 cup. High-pitched, shrill, terrifying. He laughed until tears streamed down his face, until his chest seized, until he collapsed in gasps on the floor. The shed emptied in minutes. People backed away as though Baba himself carried a disease. Baba stood frozen, calabash in hand, money bowl half full. "Come back," he called weakly. "You are wasting good wine." No one turned. That afternoon, Taiwo returned, not to work, but to collect his things. Baba watched him silently. "You are leaving," Baba said. "Yes. After everything I taught you?" Taiwo met his eyes. "You taught me how not to tap a palm." The slap came fast. Sharp. Final. Taiwo stumbled, steadied himself, and picked up his bag. As he walked away, he said one last thing. "The palms are tired, Baba. And tired things break." That night, Baba Say-gun dreamed. He was climbing a palm that never ended. The higher he went, the thinner the trunk became. Below him, calabashes shattered on the ground. Above him, money rained like leaves. When he reached out to grab it, the palm snapped. He woke up sweating. Outside, the wind moved through the trees. And for the first time in his life, Baba Say-gun did not go out to tap at night. By morning, the village had changed. His shed was empty. The path avoided. The whispers louder. Baba sat alone, staring at a calabash of wine he could not sell. He lifted it, smelled it, drank. His face twisted. Bitter. Very bitter. And somewhere far away, under the same palms he had drained, a group of young men began planning something new. Something dangerous. Something Baba Say-gun could not control. The name spread before the wine did. The new calabash. People whispered it like a joke at first. Then like a rumor. Then like hope. It began at the edge of the village, where the old clay pit met the bush and nobody important ever went. 6 young men and 1 woman gathered there before sunrise, their shadows long, their faces serious. Taiwo stood among them. "We will not steal customers," he said. "We will not lie. We will not tap at night. And we will not bleed the palms dry." Someone laughed nervously. "And if nobody comes?" Taiwo nodded. Then at least we sleep clean. They tied a strip of white cloth around a wooden pole and planted it in the earth. Beneath it sat 3 fresh calabashes, clean and full. That was all. No drum, no shout, no magic, just honesty. By noon, the first customer arrived. An old hunter who limped from a long-ago wound. He sniffed the wine suspiciously. "This is not Baba's place," he said. "No," Taiwo replied. "It is not." The man drank. His shoulders dropped. His eyes softened. "This one sits gently," he murmured. He paid. He stayed. He called someone else. By evening, 5 people had come. By the next morning, 20. Baba Sagun heard about it from a woman who passed his shed without stopping. "What is this new calabash?" he demanded. She shrugged. "Youth things." But Baba's chest tightened. Youth things had teeth. The cooperative moved carefully. They took only what the palms offered. They rested trees. They shared profits evenly. When someone fell ill, they closed early. When wine ran low, they stopped selling. Customers noticed. "This one does not rush me. This one tastes like old times. This one does not fight my head." The whispers changed direction, and Baba's shed grew emptier. On the 4th day, Baba visited the palms himself. He climbed higher than he had in weeks, anger driving him upward. From the top, he could see the faint white cloth of the new calabash fluttering in the distance. "They think they are clever," he growled. The tree did not respond. The calabash filled slowly, too slowly. Baba slammed his knife into the bark. "Give!" he shouted. The tree creaked. Below, the wind stirred. That evening, Baba drank alone. He listened to the sounds of laughter drifting from the far side of the village. He imagined faces, counted losses. Then he smiled. "A fire does not need permission," he said softly. The night was moonless. Perfect. Baba wrapped his cloak tightly and moved through the bush like a memory. He did not carry wine. He did not carry money. He carried a torch. The new calabash's storage hut sat quiet, wine resting inside like sleeping animals. Baba crouched, heart pounding, not with fear, but excitement. "This is business," he whispered. He lit the torch. The flames climbed fast. Dry wood cracked. Palm leaves hissed. Clay pots burst with sharp pops, spilling wine into the dirt where it steamed and vanished. By the time villagers arrived, it was too late. The hut was ash. The calabashes were blackened ghosts. Someone cried. Someone shouted. Someone asked, "Who would do this?" No one answered. But many people thought of Baba Sagun. By morning, the village buzzed. The elders gathered under the irako tree, faces dark. "This is no accident," one said. "No," another agreed. "This is fear." Taiwo stood before them, eyes red, hands trembling, not with weakness, but restraint. "We will rebuild," he said. "And if it happens again?" an elder asked. Taiwo met Baba's gaze across the crowd. "Then we will not stay quiet." Baba laughed loudly. "You accuse me without proof," he asked. "Fire has no owner." The elders murmured. They had no evidence, only patterns. And patterns were dangerous to men like Baba. That afternoon, something shifted. People who had never spoken openly began to speak. "He threatens apprentices. He taps at night. He cheats the palms." Baba's name, once spoken with pride, now tasted like ash. The new calabash reopened 3 days later. Bigger, stronger. More people joined. Women brought benches. Youths brought drums. Someone painted a calabash symbol on cloth. It became more than a business. It became a statement. Baba watched from his shed, hands shaking. "This will not last," he muttered. But deep down, he knew the truth. He was no longer fighting hunger. He was fighting change. That night, Baba climbed again. Higher than ever. The palm swayed violently. "Hold me," he whispered to the tree. The tree did not. A branch cracked. Baba froze, heart hammering. Slowly, he climbed down. For the first time, fear tasted stronger than wine. The next morning, the elders announced an inspection. All tappers would be questioned. All palms examined. The village wanted answers. Baba sat alone in his shed, staring at his calabashes. Outside, laughter rose from the new calabash. Inside, silence crushed him. He lifted his gourd. The wine stared back. Still bitter. Still full. Still unsellable. And Baba Saygun realized something terrifying. Greed had given him everything. And now it was taking it all back. The inspection began at dawn. Not with drums. Not with announcements. But with silence. Men gathered quietly at the edge of the bush. Elders wrapped in faded cloth. Hunters with their charms hidden beneath leather. Women standing farther back, watching with eyes sharp as cutlasses. Baba Saygun arrived late. On purpose. He walked slowly, chin high, calabash swinging at his side like a reminder of who he had been. When he reached the gathering, conversations died. The palms stood ahead of them, tall, scarred, tired. "This is unnecessary," Baba said loudly. "Trees do not cry." No one answered. The elders moved from palm to palm. They touched the bark, studied the cuts, counted the scars. "This one was tapped yesterday," an elder said. "And the night before," another added. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Night tapping was not just forbidden, it was feared. It was believed the palms rested at night, gathering strength the way humans gathered breath in sleep. Baba laughed. "Belief is not evidence," he said. But his laughter echoed alone. At the third palm, the eldest man stopped. "This tree is dying." He pointed to the split bark, the darkened sap oozing slowly like thick tears. "Who taps here?" Silence. Then softly someone said, "Baba Saygun." All eyes turned. Baba's jaw tightened. "I have tapped that tree for years." "Yes," the elder replied. "But not like this." Taiwo stepped forward. The crowd shifted. Some gasped. Others nodded. He was thinner now. Harder. "I carried the calabashes," Taiwo said. His voice trembled, but did not break. "I washed the gourds. I watched him tap at night. I warned him." Baba spun toward him. "You traitor! You slapped me," Taiwo continued. "You watered the wine. You blamed us when people fell sick." The murmuring swelled into noise. Baba opened his mouth, but the elder raised a hand. "Enough." They returned to the village square. The sun climbed higher, merciless. Everyone followed. No one stayed behind. Baba stood in the center, suddenly very aware of how small the space felt. The elders spoke one by one. "You exploited the palms. You endangered the people. You burned the cooperative's hut." "I did not," Baba shouted. "Then swear it," someone called. Baba hesitated. Just a second. But it was enough. The wind rose suddenly. Sharp. Loud. The palms at the edge of the square began to sway violently, though the sky remained clear. A deep crack echoed. People screamed. One of Baba's oldest palms split down the middle and collapsed near his shed, missing it by mere feet. Dust filled the air. Silence followed. Even Baba could not speak. An old woman stepped forward, the same one who had warned him days before. "Some men think wealth deafens the earth," she said calmly. "But the earth hears everything." Baba's knees trembled. "This is coincidence," he whispered. But no one believed him. The elder's verdict came quickly. Baba was fined heavily. His tapping rights suspended. His remaining wine seized for inspection. "This is mercy," the eldest said. "Do not test it." Baba nodded numbly. That night, Baba sat alone in his hut. No laughter. No coins. No footsteps approaching. Only the sound of wind through broken palms. He poured himself a final cup. The wine smelled wrong. He drank anyway. It burned. Sleep did not come easily. When it did, it brought voices. "You took too much. You did not listen. You did not stop." Baba woke screaming. By morning, his shed was deserted. The new calabash overflowed. Drums played. Life moved on. Without him, Baba wandered to the palms at dusk. The trees he had once commanded now stood silent, distant. "I built everything," he said hoarsely. "I deserve more time." The palms answered with a long, slow creak. He climbed one last tree. Not for profit. For pride. Halfway up, his strength failed. His fingers slipped. The world tilted. He clung desperately, heart pounding. "Help me," he begged. The palm did not. He slid down, crashing into the dirt, breath knocked from his body. Alive. Broken. Defeated. By nightfall, word spread. Baba Sagun had fallen. Not from a tree. From power. And the village slept easier knowing greed had finally been heard, and answered. Morning arrived without ceremony. No drums. No market songs. No mention of Baba Sagun's name. The village woke as though something unpleasant had been swept aside in the night. Doors opened. Fires were lit. Children ran. Life, stubborn and indifferent, continued. Only Baba noticed the silence. He lay on a woven mat in his hut, ribs aching, head pounding, his body heavy as wet cloth. Every movement reminded him that he was no longer the man who climbed palms like a spirit. He was just a man. And men fell. When he finally stepped outside, the sun felt unfamiliar, too bright, too honest. He walked slowly toward his shed, expecting habit to guide him. But habit betrayed him. The benches were gone. The calabashes had been taken. Even the wooden sign bearing his name leaned crooked, as though ashamed. Baba reached out to touch it, then stopped. There was no audience left to perform for. Across the village, the new calabash thrived. Laughter spilled freely. The wine flowed gently. People drank without fear, without whispers, without watching the ground afterward. Taiwo stood behind the table, not like a master, but like a steward. When wine ran low, he stopped pouring. When a palm needed rest, he rested it. And when someone asked about Baba Sagun, he only said, "He taught us what not to become." Baba wandered aimlessly that afternoon. Every path he took bent away from him. People greeted him politely, too politely. The kind of politeness reserved for funerals and endings. No one asked for wine. No one asked for advice. No one feared him anymore. That hurt the most. At dusk, Baba returned to the palms. Not to tap. Just to stand. The trees rose above him like old judges who had already passed sentence. "I fed you," he said quietly. "I made you famous." The palms answered with rustling leaves. No anger. No forgiveness. Just truth. That night, hunger drove him to drink again. From the last calabash hidden beneath his bed. The wine had darkened. He drank anyway. The bitterness burned deeper than before, settling into his chest like regret. He coughed. Spilled some on the floor. For the first time, he did not care. Days passed. Then weeks. The elders did not revisit their judgment. They did not need to. Baba Sagun was already punished. His hands, once steady, shook. His legs, once powerful, weakened. And worst of all, his mind replayed every warning he had ignored. The old woman. The apprentice. The palms themselves. One evening, a child approached him. "Are you the man who used to make sweet wine?" the boy asked. Baba nodded slowly. "Why don't you anymore?" Baba thought for a long time. "Because I drank more than I shared," he finally said. The child frowned, then ran off. The season changed. Rains came. New palms grew. The old broken tree remained where it had fallen, untouched. A reminder. One night, long after everyone slept, Baba climbed a small hill overlooking the village. He carried a calabash. Not of wine. Of water. He poured it slowly at the base of a young palm. "I am sorry," he whispered. The tree did not answer. But it stood. By morning, Baba Sagun was gone. Some said he left the village quietly, walking into another life where his name meant nothing. Others said he still lived nearby, tending small plants, never climbing again. No one knew for sure. And no one chased the truth. What remained was the story. Elders told it slowly. Parents told it carefully. Tappers told it with respect. When palm wine tastes strangely bitter, they warned, remember Baba Sagun. Some sweetness is borrowed. And greed always comes to collect. At the new calabash, a rule was carved into wood. Take only what you need. Leave the rest to live. And beneath it, in smaller letters, the palms are watching. Sometimes, late at night, when the wind moved through the raffia trees just right, people swore they heard footsteps climbing, then stopping. As if someone remembered too late.